So welcome to Yutrp Travel Podcast,
Thank you, Devin.
and congratulations on becoming the first B2B travel company to be launching an IPO.
Thank you
Congrats!
so much.
And
Thank
we
you.
are too inspired, and we are trying to build a very new age travel technology sort of a platform. So very inspired by that.
Thank you so
So
much.
yeah. So if you can just tell us what is that one strength of TBO that made you the leader in the industry? Just if you have to kind of give one, two, three pointers on that.
So it's very simple. One is which I always, tell my team and which we follow very religiously, that the ethics. So TBO, when you name TBO, it comes, the in the industry, in the fraternity, it comes that this is the credible company and people, trust on us. The second, which is very important point for us, is that worked really well that we are the only company in the country, I believe in the world, that who are 100% B2B. So we are not, you know, uh,
Get it.
getting into the business where my customers domain, right? So there is no B2C, there is no corporate business which we do. So travel agents have this trust that, our data is safe. They are not there to eat our business, but they are there to help us,
Right.
in fact, to be competitive in the market if they have to compete with big dot coms.
Absolutely.
So ethics, integrity, the trust, and the openness, the accessibility for the travel agents. So travel agents have the great accessibility. They can just call anybody in the leadership team, and we are very well, and the
Approachable.
dedication here. When you have something which is, I always say, big audacious goal. Until so there are multiple goals people follow. So in our case, one is the audacious goal. It has to be right, and the short term, long term, and if you follow, I mean, the success comes. And apart from this, vision I talked about, but the leadership is something which basically brings this energy and this the right way to
Right.
work. It comes from up, at the top. So when the leaders have this conviction that yes, there is a yes, there's a market, there's a growth which can
Right.
come, if we really have to stick with our policies and the ethics, and it worked
I think
well.
absolutely correct.
So
And to add up to that, whatever that we have heard in the industry, so anybody, even if he's not attached to TBO and he kind of parts away with TBO, we have not heard anything bad about TBO. So even if
yeah,
people join an organization, people leave an organization, but
yeah,
people would always say good things about TBO. This
yeah,
we kind of keep hearing stories. Great.
yeah.
Also,
Yeah, because the thought process is that when the people joins, it is not about that somebody is senior and somebody is junior in the organization. It is just that when you give the responsibility to a person, and when you give a free hand, and which really works well. I always say, you'll have to trust people. The company is becomes when you have the right people on the right places,
right.
right? The business, you might have a great product, you might have a great everything, but at the same time, if you don't have the right people on the right place, and if you don't have the people who believe
Right.
on your idea, then you can't succeed.
Absolutely.
So this is something. So delegation is something which we really
Oh,
believe in.
right.
When we hire somebody, that we give full authority, and then you do, this is your business. And I understand people makes mistakes, but it's
Yeah,
fine. I
absolutely.
mean, when you make mistakes and then you learn. So this is what the total culture we have created
That's
in the
great.
company.
That's great. Also, if you can just tell us pointers about your particular journey in person. You have been associated with TBO. You started from a particular designation. I would say now you
Yeah.
are at a designation.
So this is what I always tell, when I do sessions in my office, when the new people comes and they join. So I came as a reservation manager way back in 2006, and started my journey in December, and my first day was 1st
All right.
January 2007 in TBO. So it's a very long time. We were a very small company, 45 people in the organization overall. typically North India centric company, and then but we had the vision. We launched online system during that time, so it's a very very long journey. If I talk about, it'll take long hours, but the reality here is, yes. And then uh, I started taking care of South India because we were not there in South India. But I had that conviction. Yes, we can definitely crack this, because agents were not at all interested to book anything online,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
during
Because of the
those days,
stigma, yeah.
so people used to say, you come and sit, have coffee, but we will not work with you because we are not going to click and issue. So we had challenges during those days, and I used to travel 20 days in a
Right.
month. So I was not married, so it was very easy to travel
Absolutely.
20 days in a month. I used to have close room sessions. I used to call agents on high tea, and I used to explain about the system, the convenience, and so on and so forth. But it really the very very hard work gone into to build different markets. But of course, yes, I grew over the period of time, because when the company grows,
Absolutely.
automatically when you work hard, then you also grow. So good 17 18 years, then I joining from reservation manager to working as chief commercial officer. It is a long great journey. It was not easy, but
It is incredible, I think. Yeah,
it
inspiring,
is
very inspiring.
and it is not that who have worked hard. To be very honest, it is the team which I got. I was very lucky to have the great people in my team,
Absolutely.
who basically who had this trust on me, and plus on my idea, on my vision, and overall even the founder's
Right,
vision, so
absolutely.
which plays a very important role. So it's a great journey. I mean, it was I always say it was a roller coaster
I agree.
journey. So,
Absolutely. Must have been.
and I don't know how these last 10 years passed by, when I see from a 45 people organization to now 2,000 people,
Absolutely.
and I can't tell you the forward numbers and the current number, because being a listed, we really
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
be
That works. Yeah.
there are few things which can disclose and which can't. So, but last year we did 3 billion plus. So that
That
is
is
what
great.
and now the numbers are in public,
Absolutely.
and good approximate 2 billion market cap. So this is a great journey. So we were very ethical even during our growth time. We lost a lot of business, because and we have not compromised with our compliances. We are we don't do anything hanky panky. That is what the
Yeah.
idea is. I still remember during when the service tax was launched, when the GST was came into the picture, but we were typically stick with the policies that this is what government says, and we really have to follow those rules. We don't find the ways
Yeah, yeah.
here and there.
Everything
So I think that everything has to
trim
be
and
very
proper.
very
Yeah.
compliant and
That is
proper.
so great. So great. Now we can talk about a fun question. What is the next big destination that you think for will be budding up for the Indian travelers?
See, I'll tell you, Indian travelers, if you even currently see the change, let me tell you, as per CAPA, approximate 8 to 9%, between 9 to 11% passenger growth is going to close by 31st of March. And out of this, between 8, 9, 10, whatever the number will come finally, you see the majority, I would say, this is my calculation, I have not seen that number, but yes, approximate 80% business has shifted to the destinations which are 4 to 5 hours from India.
Absolutely.
Right, so the next growth which is coming, so for example, Indigo as an airline, you see they have deployed all the all new aircraft to the destination like Uzbekistan,
Right,
Kazakhstan,
right.
Azerbaijan,
CIS countries.
Georgia, Vietnam, and CS, and so on and so forth. And the good part is India, the location that 65% of the population lives just 4 to 5 hours from India. So that kind of a great
Right,
opportunity
right, right.
India has at this point. But knowing the fact that the emerging traveler, the new traveler, the middle class people who have the aspiration to travel, for them, for the mass travel, of course, the destinations which are 4 to 5 hours away from India will definitely going to grow. But of course, the one set of people who are already very well traveled to Far East, Southeast Asia, Europe, and Americas. Now they are, exploring the alternative
Absolutely.
niche destinations, right? So, in a very recent days, we have observed that Japan has really picked up very
Absolutely,
well. You see, people have the aspiration. Even people used to go to France, but now you see people are going to France, but selecting a different niche destination like Courchevel, and these kind of destinations. So the mature travelers, they are going for cruising, Alaska cruise or Atlantic.
At
What is I mean that is
Antarctica, yeah.
Antarctica cruise. So these niche destinations are also coming. The Kenya is really picking up
Right.
well because a lot of people are going for safari to Masai Mara, and so these niche destinations. But that is one part which is for the mature traveler. But if I talk about even mass, so that is the market is going to grow, I believe, for
Absolutely.
next couple of years, because Europe have their own challenges. People have visa
Right.
challenges. The availability flights. The flights are getting more expensive. Hotels and attraction have become more expensive. So even if you consider Kazakhstan versus people who wanted to go for
Right.
skiing, so that Kazakhstan is much cheaper, even approximate. I believe if I'm not wrong, must be 50% cheaper than
Absolutely.
Switzerland. Right, so that is
Absolutely.
these destination. I
I
think
think
they are
I
going
also
to
agree. I think this CIS.
ladies groups.
Absolutely.
They are also coming into a lot of, even the sports tourism is picking up really well.
Right.
And very recently we saw in Qatar, in FIFA, the second or third largest population to visit FIFA was Indians, right?
Right,
Were
absolutely.
Indians. So this is something which is, and I have seen one group who were traveling to see the rugby match in America. So I was shocked to see even the people from India, which is from a tier 2, tier 3 cities, they are going to see rugby match, which was awesome. I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah,
So
great,
that kind of a new traveler is also emerging. And I believe going forward, next 20 years, there is no looking back.
Absolutely.
As far as the art demographics are concerned, you see, the passports, out of 1.4 billion population, only 160 million passports we have issued till now.
Absolutely.
And out of those 160 passports, only 32 million trips happened. So you
Right.
can imagine the growth
The
is about to
magnitude,
come. But of
yeah.
course, the this middle class and upper middle class will going to shift, especially for 4 to 5 hours
Yeah,
journey
short.
from India. Short
I
haul
think
distance.
it's great.
And that is what I believe airlines is trying to, encash. One is Indigo, which is primarily, showing serious growth on those routes.
Great. So one piece of advice for the new age travel partners, travel agents trying to becoming travel agents. What is that one advice?
So for travel agents, of course, the market is getting competitive because the availability, the awareness, the customer also have the great awareness of everything. So you'll have to be agile to build your business, which I always advise to everyone, especially for a travel agent who comes in the business. Use as much as technology you can. Otherwise, having more people in the organization, especially on a travel agent, generally for a travel agent to operate one travel agency, approximate they need 8 to 10%
Yeah.
margin, right? Which is they earn, but if they spend, then there is no point.
no point.
So I believe now people have built beautiful platform like TBO, where you don't need the staff to book the services. So if you keep yourself agile and then focus on service, then I believe that going to grow. Because keeping in mind, online is growing, but at the same time, offline business is also growing. Knowing the fact, America, which is the highly developed market, but still 50% business comes from a travel agent.
Yeah.
So it's a big debate that going forward what will happen for travel agent. But I always believe that travel agent will remain in the system, because the service which travel agent can offer, which I believe online will take time.
Absolutely.
And,
So I wanted to ask that question
yeah.
also, and you have answered. That is
Yeah,
so
yeah.
great.
So even in
Yeah.
India, you see one side you see, if you study that online share is increasing, but offline simultaneously is also increasing.
Absolutely.
Because I understand that domestic point to point will shift on online, but there are a lot of complex itineraries, the experience travel, that will all come to travel agent, and that piece of business in terms of GTV, the turnover, which is much bigger than the portion. And even if you study the dot coms, their average booking value is much lesser than the per
Absolutely.
booking value, which comes from a travel agent, is 5 times bigger than the that.
And the
So-
average ticket size in terms of tier 2, tier 3 cities, people traveling, they would always want a travel agent in between. It's more of an accountability or trust. What do you think?
See, it is accountability, trust both.
Okay.
So although there are trustworthy dot coms are there in the country, but at the same time, when a first timers travels, right, he needs somebody whom he know, and for anything goes wrong, because people have 1,000 questions in India, and in our societies we have a different. Somebody needs 100% vegetarian food. Somebody before going wanted to know, which place is good to stay or not. Whether I'll get this, whether I'll get that. I mean, there are 1,000 questions first timers does. The visa is something which is where a customer required a help, where travel agent comes. So I believe trust is very, very important, comes in between, and the the ease. When I am going through a travel agent, it is that if I'm stuck with anything, I just need to give a call to my travel agent, and then he will sort it out everything. Not, calling to a customer care number and I don't know whom I'm talking to.
Right.
So that is for sure, and people very happily pay the service fee because of this comfort.
Absolutely.
Because when the developed market like America, still people, they don't have time to to research and surf on the system or internet. They rather prefer to pay $100
Commission or
management fee, and then things
Great.
worked
It
out
was
for them.
pleasure. It was pleasure having you here on the podcast,
Thank you so
Yutrp
much, Arvind.
podcast. Thank you so much. Your
No,
journey
thank
is
you
very
so much.
inspiring, and
Thanks,
thank you so much. Thanks
Pleasure.
for joining
Thanks,
us.
Arvind.
Yeah, thank you so much.